So I'm kind of at a place where I feel like expectations are kind of like ruining the journey for me. Of course, I know I'll always pursue this journey, but I think it's just making me feel super overwhelmed, feeling sad, feeling just very anxious. And there's even like multiple days where I'm just like, oh, like I kind of don't want to study. You know what I mean? Like it's like a part of me just wants to ultimately give up in a way, just because I feel like I'm not going to finish on the time that I want to finish. And that's something that I'm trying to like get myself to understand, is that the expectation that's there isn't even being made by someone else. It's not by a school, it's not by a person. This expectation has been made by me. So I'm like, how could we as humans get so stressed out by an expectation that we literally could change mentally? But even though I'm aware of that, that's still something that is eating me alive. I was thinking I was going to get this CompTIA A plus in April, after I realized, okay, I'm not going to get this in 2 months. I was like, I should definitely be able to achieve this in April. And, with the way that I'm moving, starting by this week, by the 8th at least, I should have already been in the security section, because I finished the operating system about a week ago, or almost a couple days ago by now. And, no, I'm still stuck within the operating system section. And honestly, what had happened was I started to rush myself simply because I just felt like I should have been moving faster. And with that rushing, with all the notes I took, I actually didn't understand a damn thing. So currently I'm kind of like quizzing myself, but in a way I'm teaching myself at the same time. And like it's definitely helpful, but it is slowing everything down. I'm having a feeling that I'm probably not going to start the security section until next week. And we all thought the operating system was hard and long, which it isn't. The security section is going to be even worse. And that's actually something that I feel like makes me afraid, like just truly afraid, because I know I'm probably just not going to finish it by April. And I know, like I said, this is just, it's like something I'm doing to myself. But then again, the exam of the CompTIA A plus stays out and renews every 3 years. And so I'm basically about to go and get this CompTIA A plus, and I was hoping to get it by August, like in full. I want a core 2 by April, but in full by August. And I'm just having a feeling that it's going to take a bit longer. And I believe it renews in 2028, if I'm not mistaken, because this was made in 2025. So part of me is like, what if by the time I end up actually completing the CompTIA A plus, and then the time I get a job with it, or if I get a job with it, like what if I'm trying to apply for it or with it, and then it just expires, so I have to renew it. And I already plan on renewing my certifications anyway. But I just feel like I'm gonna be annoyed if I kind of finish it maybe in like 2027 and don't really land the job until like last minute, because it's like, well, I did all that work to have to redo it again, which is just kind of crappy. But then again, I just think it's a learning experience. I think it's teaching me a lot about expectations. It's teaching me a lot about timing. It's teaching me a lot about just go with the flow, have faith that everything's going to ultimately work out in the end. And, but it's just been feeling like, the thing is that it's not that I don't have faith it's going to work out or that I'm not going to pass. I think my thing is like, I'm just feeling sad, and I'm grieving the fact that I kind of have a feeling it's not going to be done on the time that I wanted it to be done. And that's what I'm grieving. That's what's making me sad. That's what's making me feel overwhelmed. And, I'm trying to talk myself out of it, y'all. But I'm just like, damn, I'm really not going to get this when I thought. But I am currently putting in the work. Currently struggling right now. And I have a new struggle every day. That just simply means I'm not understanding it with the test taking. And then maybe I understood it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that deep. I feel like sometimes I tend to talk about stuff like this, and I think people tend to take it very deeply. Like trust me, this hurts me, but when I say deeply, I mean in the sense of sometimes I can't even say that I'm not understanding something, because then there will be people who question why I'm not getting it, or they'll be like, oh, like, what do you, like, how do you not understand? And I'm just like, okay, guys, like I'm gonna get it by tomorrow. The point is that it's not about am I gonna pass, it's about, damn, it's not gonna be on at that time. And I think people miss that that's where my worry is. It's not, my fear isn't about failing, I know I won't. I just gotta keep studying, and I always just gotta keep implementing it, slamming it into my head, you know what I mean? And I just know everything is gonna ultimately go well. But man, I'm grieving about that when. And sometimes when I talk about how difficult it is, or like for instance where my struggle is, like I was about to get into, is DNS, DHCP, I think is how that goes, a subnet, gateway, right, those type of things. That it's all 4 or 3, whatever the hell I said, is a little bit confusing to me, just in the sense of as I conflate them. Like in a way I keep thinking DNS is DHCP, so like I pretty much in my head I just need to create a difference, and I need to align what that difference is, because they're literally not the same. Sorry. And then same way with like subnet and gateway. I don't know how I keep merging them or conflating them, because like some questions I can get right and I'll be like, this is subnet, but then there'll be questions that are gateway but I'm saying are subnet, and then same thing with gateway. I could get gateway right, but then there's just some that I'm conflating. So for the last couple of exams, I was actually probably getting around 80 to 70% per time. So that's why a part of me thinks, could this also be a form of perfectionism and just wanting to get a higher score? Or am I understanding it? Because what I need to, you know, I tell myself often is that the quiz has 90 questions. 28% of the quiz is the operating system section, meaning 25 questions are going to be about the operating system section that I'm currently studying on. This section has 11 subtopics. So we really want to do the math. Approximately 3 to 4 questions are going, or probably 2 to 3, are going to be coming from each subtopic. I know it's probably possible for it to be a little bit more on certain subtopics, or maybe not. I haven't looked into that, but let's just say approximately 2 to 3 questions. So something I keep reminding myself is if I'm taking a 25 and I'm getting 20 out of 25, or taking a 15 question quiz and getting 10 out of 15, at the end of the day, what are the odds that the 5 I could not understand are going to be the questions that get asked to me? Now it is like an odd, right? So it could happen, but I feel like for it to constantly be that, maybe like just 24/7, or like every time I get a question or every time I get an answer, it's just that one that I'm not getting, I'm like, it's gonna be highly unlikely. And I'm not saying that I'm just gonna be able to pass the quiz as well with a 100%. That's not true either. But the point is that I just gotta stop thinking I'm just not going to understand any of the questions on the quiz. And I think I'm just kind of like putting myself into that fear factor, which could also be a reason why I'm like doing such a deep study. In the end, it's gonna be good because I'm a pass, but sometimes I'm thinking, well, what if I'm studying too hard that it is gonna slow down when it happens? And so that's definitely a thought process. But yeah, I just wanted to end up getting into that. I hope you guys ended up enjoying this video and just hearing the vulnerable side of somebody who really wants to achieve this CompTIA A+ by April, but I just don't think I'm gonna be able to pass it in April. But I do hope that, you know, like you guys get something from this video. Hopefully you guys can leave some inspiring and encouraging words. I just love to document the realness of the journey. I feel like a lot of people, they tend to just document the glory of it. They document, you know, kind of achieving it. And I know one day I'm gonna have that video on this channel that I achieved it, but I want to show people the real, show people the struggle. Or shoot, what if I just can't achieve it? What if I'm literally struggling like crazy and it takes me a year? You know, like anything. I want to be able to just show y'all everything that I end up running into, my struggles, where I'm going wrong, especially too because it's going to be a nice little journey to look back at whenever I'm further in life. But then also too, even when I'm like older, like 50, 60, to look back at these videos. But then, you know, just even on top of that, you guys who are going to, a lot of people are probably going to come from when I got the CompTIA A+, or when I have it, and you guys could see this video that showed me afraid before I literally have it, you know, so you could see the actual rawness of what I felt. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. I love y'all. Deuces.